All right, we're good?
We're good.
All right, folks. Welcome to the Edison Now podcast. This is our second podcast.
Second,
It is
yes.
our second podcast, and I do apologize. We had a couple podcasts lined up due to some personal reasons. And folks, I know I put it out there that I had some neck and back pain. I was in a small accident. Not my fault. I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm okay. I'm just a little sore on my neck and my back, and I had some other stuff going on. But so we had to cancel Stephen Brown, which we're gonna have him on regarding cybersecurity. I'm looking forward to that conversation.
That's going to be a great conversation. I had a brief conversation with him last week. Very knowledgeable individual. Knows a lot. He can touch upon a lot of different aspects about cybersecurity, and it's going to be a really good conversation with him. I'm really looking forward to it.
He's a really smart guy. He's a good guy. But first, folks, we have a special guest with us today.
Special guest.
And Lisa, why don't you introduce yourself? Lisa how do you pronounce your last name?
Zmyewski.
And folks, for those that don't know, Lisa has done a terrific thing. She has organized a pro-police rally, as Lisa sets up here. It's her first podcast, folks, so she's getting used to all the gadgets. But she is organized. You have organized a pro-police rally. First of all, why don't you give us the date, time, location?
July 25th.
July 25th, what time?
From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Town Hall.
At Town Hall. Lisa, what made you do this?
It was kind of on the whim. I see all these rallies for other things, and I feel that our police officers who are out there doing a good job are not getting the recognition.
Mm-hmm.
They're out there, they're patrolling these other rallies, and nobody is there to give them the credit that they deserve.
Right.
I lived in Edison 51 years. I've known many police officers in Edison. Not every one of them is bad.
Right.
And we need to give credit where credit is due.
Well, look, and I've been in Edison for over 30 years. Edison does, and some of the unfortunate feedback from people, I mean, I can't imagine why people would be upset about a pro-police rally. And I know one of the things that people talk about is our town is known for corrupt police department and stuff like that, which is, listen, folks, it's true. But 99.9% of the police officers in our police department are patriots. They're good people. But like every profession, you have bad apples.
And I know for a fact that Chief Bryant and the rest of them have been doing their job and working hard to try to weed out that corruption. I honestly believe that they have, and they are, and they continue. They have done lemonade with cops,
which I like that program.
They have done coffee with cops. They have tried to reach out to the community.
They're getting more involved in community policing, which is important.
Yes.
Which is important.
Yes.
I'm not and I'm not one for defunding the police. I mean, I take the opposite stand on that. I would think you would agree with that.
No, I definitely agree with it. And I had put out a question on Edison residents to parents about, policing in our school.
Mm-hmm.
With the current events going on and people feeling that police are intimidating. Do parents want to continue to have armed police in the school, or would you rather replace them with social workers?
Well, look, I think the media has a lot to do with that, unfortunately. And I think, I listen, I've had conversations with the mayor. I've been begging the mayor to bring DARE back, not because I believe that DARE is going to solve the drug problem, but I believe in the early relationship between the police officer and the child.
My brother-in-law, who is a retired lieutenant from Middlesex County Police, did the DARE program.
Right.
And did an excellent job. Excellent job. And DARE is not the same today. They revamped that whole program.
They did. Yes, they did. And again, it could be DARE, it could be you could call it whatever you want to call it.
And I don't believe that it should be in 5th grade. I believe that DARE should be in the middle school. before going into high school.
Yeah, listen, that's debatable. I mean, I'm not an expert in it. I believe though having a police officer in the school is not a bad thing.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
Mm-mm.
You know.
No, absolutely not. And a lot of the responses that I receive from parents is absolutely not. We want them there.
Right.
We want them there. And if you want them there and you appreciate them being there, then you know what? Come out to the Pro-Police Rally on the 25th and show support to those officers who are in the school protecting our children.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
I think so. We want folks come out, support this rally, support our police. It's really not just necessarily supporting the Edison Police Department. It's supporting all police. We're representing, I think all officers in law enforcement. I have family members, immediate family members in law enforcement. To be quite honest with you, my friends either became cops or teachers. So I have, I mean, they're family. My friends are family. So
my sister, former Marine,
Right.
military police. My sister.
Wow.
So I have former police in my family.
Right.
And I do support the police. I a few bad apples does not ruin the whole entire tree.
I agree. I think what you're doing is really a great service. I thank you for doing that. I'm going to be there. We're going to be podcasting live.
Yes, we will be. We'll be there. Absolutely.
The only thing that I ask is that this rally is open to everyone who supports police, regardless of political affiliation.
Right.
Absolutely.
That this should not become political.
Yeah.
This is not about politics. Let's keep politics aside and let's make it about our police officers.
This is certainly not a partisan issue at all.
No.
This is about the fine men and women who put
Yes.
on that uniform every day
Yes.
for all of us.
Bring your police flags, your signs, everything and anything that supports the police, and come out and show them your appreciation. Show them some love. Because I'll tell you what, the ones who are in our school, and I know for a fact because I go in and out of the school with my own son.
Sure.
We have some of the best officers in our schools.
Oh, without a doubt, and they form fantastic relationships with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
My younger son, who just left 5th grade, he's going into middle school now. He was very upset when I actually went to go pick up his things. He actually wanted me to tell the officers in the school, "Please, Dad, tell them to say I said hello." I'm like, absolutely, you sure would, and I certainly did that. And they actually knew my son, and they know all the kids.
They know all the parents too.
You
Sure.
build a relation. That's why I advocate there, is because first of all you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. You're educating on drugs, and listen, it's not going to prevent any. It's about relationships, and it's about respecting the authority of a police officer, because they are authority. They're authority figures.
Sure.
And some of them, listen. Sometimes you get a guy that thinks he's John Rambo every once in a while, but again, 99% of them are not like that.
I will tell you what, they have helped me. They have helped me plenty of times over the course of my 51 years.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, there are good and there are bad. Just the same as you go to the hospital. There's good doctors, there's bad doctors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's
Yep.
good and bad in everything.
And everything. I totally agree.
Listen, we don't. There's not these doctors overprescribed these pain pills, right? Which was part of the reason you had this opioid epidemic. You don't hear a call for, hey, let's get rid of doctors. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
it makes no sense. I mean, you're always going to deal with this. Unfortunately, there'll be another incident at some point down the road, just because that's just we're imperfect human beings.
Exactly. When you expect an imperfect human being to do a perfect job, you're in some type of alternate universe, because that's none of us.
And listen, now they got the cameras on them. They're constantly watched.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
mean, the pressure to be a police officer right now is not easy. I mean, you got to worry about your career. I mean, what you say. I mean, everything is just. I mean, you're basically being micromanaged in a sense.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think those cameras have turned out to be a very good thing, for the police in general.
No,
And-
they have. But
and
no, I agree with you. I just think that what we do though is we dissect, and I think sometimes an officer's best weapon is their instincts, their gut instincts.
Sure.
And
Right.
and that's something that you're born with. You know what I mean? So having a camera on you, try going to work and having a camera on you 24/7. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do the job.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's you. Listen, I agree with the camera. I'm just saying there's a reality to it though too, and it's not to know that that's
Sure.
on you.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
exactly.
But Lisa, I know that you got to get going too.
Yep.
But why don't you give the date again? Time.
July 25th, 1 to 3 p.m. at Edison Town Hall. Please, no politics. Let's keep politics out of it. And everything in support of the police.
Have we gotten a response from any elected officials yet?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
So-
the only person I did get a response from was Keith Hahn.
Okay, so Keith will be there.
Yes.
I'm sure Keith's going to speak. I would hope that our council members, if they're available, if they're in town that day, that they would stop by, say hello in support of our police officers. And we are going to be podcasting there anyway, so we're going to offer the all elected members to come sit down
I
with
think
us.
it's a great opportunity
be a
to
good-
come together
Yeah.
and discuss both issues.
Right.
Sure.
Discuss both issues as elected officials, because we need to bring that gap. We need to fill that back together.
Yeah.
We need to
Right.
bring it with the community, because all of a sudden there's so much distrust that without law and order, we're just going to have chaos.
It's
Yeah,
you
and,
have
and I
anarchy.
think that's been, and that's been demonstrated. We won't have to get into that, but that's been demonstrated. I mean, these men and women, they do us a fine service every day.
Right.
A fine
Yeah.
service every day.
And I also extended the invitation to Mayor Lanke. I hope he does come out and make an appearance and talk to us.
I think the mayor,
Talk
and
to
I'm going to
everybody.
reach out to Chief Bryant as well tomorrow. Invite him on the podcast, sit down, talk to him. Hopefully he accepts that offer. But Lisa, thank you very much.
You're welcome very
Anything else you
much.
want to
Yeah.
add to the conversation?
Anything that Anthony says about me is a lie.
Lisa's very nervous. Lisa's been a big supporter. I love Lisa.
know she is.
She's been great. We have a good relationship, and I would say that well, just keep doing what you're doing on Facebook, and enjoy yourself. the stir.
Just keep stirring.
But
No.
listen,
Right.
Lisa, thank you again, and
No.
I will share all that information. Let's make sure we get out to that rally, and
Yeah, and again, to the parents of Edison who have kids in our school, if you appreciate law enforcement in our school protecting your children, please come out and support our police. I beg of you. Show them the respect that they literally show our children on a daily basis when they're in school.
Couldn't agree more.
perfect segment. So, thank you again, Lisa.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining us.
All right.
All right.
As Lisa's.
Sneaks away.
All right. Be careful. You know how to get home. All right, folks. We got more to talk about, obviously, right now. And thanks again, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
I think she's doing an amazing job.
Oh, without a doubt, she's
It's an
doing a
amazing
great
thing.
job.
Listen,
Doing a great job.
Pro-Police Rally. I mean, what's the downside of that?
There is no downside to that.
I mean, I see some of these comments sometimes, and I'm like, it's a pro-police rally. I mean, it's all right. Listen, I don't get it, but
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes two of us, my friend.
You know.
Yeah.
a couple other things going on in the news in town.
There are, from what I heard.
From what I heard, and folks, one of the I got a text message yesterday. Somebody sent me an article. Chris, do we have this up yet or no?
We will in a minute, Anthony.
Okay.
We will in a minute.
It's so folks that are not aware, our mayor is suing his own party, Democrat organization, Edison, the EDO, Edison Democrat Organization, for I believe $25,000. Is that correct?
That's what I've read. $25,000.
$25,000. And we're gonna have Chris read over the article real fast for folks, and we'll dissect it a little bit.
I will. As soon as the article loads up, my friend, I will be more than happy to share it with the world.
We have a little, folks. We are, listen, technology. So we have a little technical difficulties today.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, and I wanted to point that out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me being the person that I am, I'm actually very disappointed. We actually have half the screen with a little bit of formatting issue tonight, and I want to apologize, everybody. We'll have it sorted out for next time. with a big promise with
it's not a
with
big
that. So apologize for the visual.
It's Chris. It's no problem. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. That's it.
Exactly. Make sure it won't happen again. Yeah. So you're right. So I'm trying to get internet access here.
Okay.
I'll let you know as soon as it's up.
Okay. So folks, what happened was the mayor is suing the EDO, and he lent out money. I guess he borrowed, loaned out $25,000, and it has not been paid back yet. Now, look, we have a lot of there's a lot going on in here because this, it's the mayor, first of all, has not announced if he's running for re-election yet.
Right.
Okay. There is a party EDO chair race election coming up, I believe, on the 21st.
Okay.
And I believe they're going to be voting on a new chair. Their committee people will be voting. And look, I am a Republican, as a Republican committeeman. However, we are a one-party ruled township. There is not one elected Republican in our town. All right, so all the seats are occupied by Democrats. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't find that hard to believe. I was actually wondering that myself, if there's actually a single position that is held by a Republican in our town. I meant to look at that, but I did not.
Teresa Ward was she did not run last year. She was the last one. I ran last year. I came up a little short. So there is no, and listen, it is what it is. However, the reason why I bring that up is because we are one party dominant town. So we all have a vested interest, I think, in who would be the next EDO chair. But here's the thing, folks. I find it interesting because we have a lot still going on. And any access?
There's progress.
Okay.
There's progress. Not necessarily, we haven't won the race yet, but there's progress.
Take your time. But here's the thing. The mayor still hasn't announced if he's running for re-election. That's number one.
Right.
All right. We also have the racist flyer that is over our head. And the reason why, folks, and I don't joke about this. I do this with all seriousness. We need to solve this. This case needs to be solved.
I completely agree with that.
Because what you have now is you also have a Board of Ed election coming up this November. And we had the Committee of the Whole, right?
We do.
And
we do have that.
We had the Committee of the Whole. And the racist flyer, all right, in my opinion, all right, it served, the purpose was twofold, all right? And I think it's pretty obvious. I think most people in this town would agree to this. If they don't, they don't. But number one, it was out to make Keith Hawn, all right, to look like a racist, number one.
Right.
All right, which he clearly is not. And he's still yet to get an apology.
Right.
And number two, it was to help the Jerry Shee ticket to win. That's what its purpose was. Now, I'm not accusing anybody who was involved in it or not. I don't know who was involved. All right? But you have the mayor, who hasn't announced if he's running for re-election yet, who the current Democrat chair purchased I believe it was $14,000 worth of stamps. 2 days later, the mayor reimbursed him for those stamps. Now, we don't know, I don't think, if those stamps were used on the flyer. Very suspicious, though. All right? Number two is you have Jerry Shee up for re-election this year. All right? And Falguni Patel. Now, Falguni Patel was the only one that did not testify in the Committee of the Whole.
Right.
She did not testify. Again, not accusing her of anything. All right?
And correct me if I'm wrong, it is her picture on the flyer, correct?
Yeah, so it's Jerry Shee and Falguni Patel.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay? And they're both up for re-election. First of all, that's how long it's taken. 3 years, and we still don't have this solved. And if they didn't do it, they need to be exonerated. If they did do it, they shouldn't run for re-election anymore anytime. That's
right. Well,
if they had any involvement, if they knew about it. And listen, I'm not saying they did or they didn't, but we're up for re-election, and Sam Joshi, Councilman Joshi, has these fingerprints. And why he hasn't released them, we haven't gotten a name. I mean, it's not fair to any of the candidates, and they're all running for they're all up for re-election.
Right. No, I agree. I don't understand how we end up in a position where only one person on that entire committee has a quote-unquote positive identity on somebody who's who's been tied to this.
Yeah.
And if anything, right, we have people's names that have been smeared who had nothing to do with this.
Right.
So if anything, do the right thing. Let's get some names cleared.
Yeah.
You know, if anything else, you know, let's do that, because there's people that are being falsely accused.
Right.
And that's not good.
No,
that's got to stop.
And listen, it's not good. What you also have is you want to clear names. Like, for instance, the committee of the whole. You know, I didn't like some of the testimony I heard. Some of it was very questionable testimony,
right,
at best. But that doesn't, you know, that doesn't mean that anybody's guilty. But to think, though, that we know the purpose was to obviously to benefit that one ticket, and they all won. You know, and it was to accuse Keith of being a racist. First of all, we're not a racist town, and it divided the township. They had a rally up in the North End, you know, basically, you know, coming together. They lit candles. I mean, they really split the town up. The town was you know, we went through a lot. We're still going through it because there's no solution. There's no answer to it, and we can't go through another election cycle, I don't think, until we find out who was involved in this. It's that fair. Hey, listen, it's that fair. And listen, Falguni hasn't announced if she's running yet either, and she didn't test. She was the only one that didn't testify. I'll tell you, actually, 3 people didn't testify. The mayor didn't testify in the committee of the whole. Sherrick Ahmad, the current EDO chair, and Falguni Patel.
Right.
Everybody else did.
Right. And it also seems like I try to go back and look at some of the meeting minutes, okay, of everything that went, some of the transcripts and things. I'm trying to piece a scenario together myself so I have a better understanding. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Keep me honest here. It does seem like every time we don't have all the right people in the room. There always seems to be somebody missing,
right?
Not showing up. And what I want to know is, does this committee of the whole, perhaps you know the answer to this, do they have subpoena power?
I believe they do. I believe they did. The committee of the whole is no longer. So they did.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. I'm sorry. Did they?
They did.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Now, listen, I'm not an expert on this committee of the whole, but from what I remember, they did have subpoena power. Councilman Joshi claims that, for instance, it's under federal investigation. I mean, you know, we've talked to. Listen, I've reached out to people in the federal government that from what I'm told, it's under our jurisdiction. It was our committee of the whole.
Right.
The federal government was just assisting.
Right.
So this idea, I mean, listen, if they have the fingerprints, our town deserves answers. It deserves answers. We spent taxpayer dollars, taxpayer dollars on the committee of the whole.
Right.
All right. And I remember Councilman Deal, we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to take this thing seriously. Hey, we all gave it we all, I think at the beginning, gave it a fair shot. All right, let's go after it. Now it's like nothing. Now it's as if they want to sweep it under the rug.
Right.
And we had Councilman Brescher on. He kind of takes our stance in a sense where let's get to the bottom of it. Let's find out what fingerprints they have.
Right. Right. And I think these folks need to be held accountable.
Right.
Why have they not gotten to the bottom of this?
Right.
There's a reason.
Right.
There's certainly a reason, and they need to be asked. They need to be held accountable.
Right.
You know, one thing is for sure, this aggravated, and rightfully so, a lot of Edison residents.
Right.
And a lot of people, or some people rather, not a lot, but some people were painted in a very negative light who had nothing to do with this. Let's get it out. Let's get into the open. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Listen, Keith was on. He was on national news. There was an article in Washington Post about him. I mean, you know, you ruin. It's the old saying. Where do you go back? You know, where do you go to get your reputation back? And it's
right.
How do you? Here's the thing. Once you're look what they're doing to Council President Joyce Shipp Freeman. Okay, claiming that she's this and she's that, and she's none of that stuff. But how do you prove the double negative? How do you prove that you're not? You know what I mean? So when you're accused of that, it's a serious accusation, and nobody's apologized to Keith. It was national news. His family was dragged through the mud on it. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. All to benefit for political, for a seat on the Board of Education.
I would,
and the mayor.
I would just say it's just downright reckless. Here, you mentioned reputations, right? It could take you 30 years
Absolutely.
to build a reputation that could actually be torn apart in 30 seconds. And you're right. How do you recover from that? It's tough. Well, how do you recover from it? Well, you know what? You get the news out in the open. You get the facts out.
Right.
And this is something they have to do.
Absolutely. Listen, and I don't care how far it goes. I don't care who's implemented whoever was behind it. Okay, how far up or down the ladder it goes, they all need to be held accountable. I mean, is there a crime? I mean, is there? I don't even know if there's a federal statute that is there. I mean, would they be facing jail time? I don't even know if we don't even have answers on that.
Well, that was a question that I had.
Okay.
Was this done in bad taste? Absolutely.
Right.
But my question would be:
was there a crime committed?
Was there an actual crime committed?
Right.
Is there anything that's indictable?
I don't know.
Right. And these are the things that I think a lot of people want to know. They want to have answers
Right.
to. And
I mean, listen. Hey, part of the problem in this town, all right. Edison is the politics is like a cesspool. It really is. It's what's that?
It's getting kind of dark. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? We're running out of lights.
Okay, so folks, we got a little behind schedule, so it is getting dark here. So we do apologize for the.
We will come back to this.
Okay.
We will come back to this. This is not done.
Right.
This is not over. It's but one thing I do have here, and I do have the article.
Okay.
Okay. The article pertaining to the $25,000 loan. I'm going to switch over to that article so everybody could actually see.
Oh, perfect.
Everybody could actually see what we're talking about here.
So why don't you want to read through it?
I'll narrate it.
Perfect.
How about that? Okay. And this is from everybody. This is from mycentraljersey.com, which I believe was that the old Home News and Tribune.
I believe so.
Well, My Central Jersey. So here we go. Mayor Thomas Lanky's campaign organization has filed a lawsuit against the Edison Democratic Organization, alleging it has failed to repay a $25,000 loan. The lawsuit, filed by the election fund of Thomas Lanky on Thursday in Middlesex County Superior Court, claims that on August 21st, 2019, the fund made a $25,000 loan to the Edison Democratic Organization.
Is that it?
No. The loan was supposed to be repaid in full by September 30th, 2019, according to the lawsuit. The Edison Democratic Organization has not repaid the loan, according to the lawsuit, despite, quote, repeated requests verbally and in writing, end quote. A February 4th, 2020 campaign filing for the Edison Democratic Organization shows a $25,000 loan made by the election fund of Thomas Lanky on August 21st, 2019. On May 16th, 2020, the latest filing available, the Edison Democratic Organization reported an outstanding debt balance of $25,000. It is unclear what the loan was used for. Edison Democratic Chair, pardon me, hopefully I pronounced this right, Sharik Ahmad, did not respond for comment. In its last reporting, filed on April 16th, 2020, the election fund of Thomas Lanky reported $44,060 in funds for the 2021 Edison mayoral Democratic primary. So there it is. They're not our words. It's reported on. It's right from the article, and everybody could see it on mycentraljersey.com.
Here's the thing: there's a split in the party, and listen, I believe in this. Going forward, the party is, I call it like a civil war inside the party. I mean, it really is. They're clearly going after one another. Who knows how nasty it's going to get? It's not good for the town, though.
No,
it's not.
No, the residents deserve better.
Listen, the politics that is, whether it's the Board of Ed and what happened last year, whether it's, the racist flyer. I mean, people do, the lengths people go to get, to win in this town. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the residents.
No.
And I believe going forward that it cannot be repaired from within. What I mean by that is the same people, you need an outsider that's not part of that group, that clique, if that makes any sense. And
sure it does.
You need to clean it up. You really do. And there are people that I call that are behind the black curtain. And these are people that are not elected. Most people would not even know their name. And they hold a ton of influence. They really do. They hold a ton of influence, and they need to be cut out. It's just, listen, the more and more you get involved, the more and more you unravel things. It's just, it's worse than you can even imagine. It really is. So,
right.
But, hey, it's an interesting story. It's right before their chairman race. So it's, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. But I believe that racist flyer, though, folks, is so important that we get that answer. We deserve to know the truth. Listen, we have solved greater cases than this. This cannot be that difficult of a case.
No, no.
I mean, come on.
No, it shouldn't be.
It
shouldn't be. The residents deserve better.
They do. They do. What else is going on in town? Anything else? We have a Board of Ed, obviously a Board of Ed election that's coming up there's a Board election every year. There's always 3 seats up. So that's going to be an interesting.
It always
Filing
is.
deadline is coming up, I believe, on the 31st or like the 28th.
Okay. And who's filed?
I don't know who's filed yet.
Okay.
I don't know, Chris.
Okay. I have to look into that.
Rumors about some people. Well, these are, I don't know.
Okay. Wait till it's confirmed.
We'll wait till things are confirmed.
Confirmed. Absolutely is the only way to go.
I can't confirm or deny anything.
Yeah, exactly. Whether we want to, right?
But listen, that's why things need to be they need to be solved, because people either need to be exonerated or they need to be
held responsible.
That's
Agreed.
it. And I don't listen. Who the heck knows what happened? I mean, honestly, but I believe that we're not being told all the truth. I think things are being held purposely. I really do.
That's certainly,
and that's how conspiracy theories start.
Right. That's certainly how it seems. And with the lack of information coming forward, people are going to draw their own conclusions. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's going to happen.
Right.
In everyone's best interest, or maybe minus a few individuals,
right.
Everyone's best interest, let's get to the bottom of this. Release the names. Let's push this forward and hold them accountable. And
here's the thing, folks. We have 22% rate increases that mayor wants to propose on our water. He's proposing an 8% municipal
8%?
tax increase.
I saw it
We got serious issues going on in this town that how do we ever expect to move forward? How do you expect to build a brand new state-of-the-art rec center when we can't even figure out who did the racist flyer? Think about that.
You need to start doing things differently.
Taxes continue to go up.
Right. There's no relief there.
There's no relief there. The politics is as nasty as ever.
Right.
And the residents suffer. They really do. The seniors in this town are being pushed out. They really are. I talk to them all the time. I mean, it's sad what's going on. A lot of them are on fixed incomes. It's becoming unaffordable. It's and especially with the virus going on, people are out of work.
Right.
It's and that's the worst part, is that people are out of work. They've been out of work, and to put these increases is quite impossible. It really is amazing. I hope the council votes it down. I know Councilman Brescia was on. He's fighting against it, and we give him he needs a lot of support. And I don't know where the other council members stand on things, but
right. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. New Jersey, the highest taxed state in the country.
It's crazy.
And they hold the power.
Yeah.
They hold the power to really dictate, are they going to make it affordable for us or not?
It's almost as if it's a disincentive to live in this state. It's costing money. I mean, it costs money everywhere, but my point is it's almost a ripoff to live in this state. Well, you go to Florida, no state income tax. Go to Texas, no state income tax. But you go down to South Carolina, where good government is actually being run.
Right.
All right. Here, I mean, we just blow money. We spend. Eventually, listen, I always say the laws of economics will catch up to us. I mean, we can't pay these debts. We have union contracts, union obligations to pensions.
Absolutely, prevailing wage, and also a very famous person once said, one of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Right.
Well, whoever said that is a very smart.
Yeah, pretty smart guy, right? But it's true, and we're collectively, we the people, we're putting the same people back in power.
That's the problem.
time again, and it's as if we haven't learned a lesson here.
I'll put it into perspective for you. I really will, folks, and this is the God honest truth. Okay, because we have in this town we vote party line. It's and this is how crazy it is. The mayor, okay, he's proposing 8% municipal tax increases, 22% water rate increases. All right, we had the whole Suez thing that happened. The racist flyer, we don't know his involvement or if he had any involvement. He's unpopular for the most part.
Right.
However, if he announces that he's running for re-election, okay, and gets the Democrat Party line, history tells us that he will be the mayor again for 4 more years.
Right.
As unpopular he is.
Right.
And listen, I know Keith announced that he's running, but put Keith aside for a second. But that's history. As unpopular, because people go in there and they're so committed to voting for the party over. Listen, people over party. That's the way it is. You got to vote on what the person stands for and all that stuff. We don't do that here. We just go straight down party line, and look where it's gotten us. It's gotten us into this mess.
Into this mess. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it'd be nice to hear about places where we could actually cut spending, right?
Oh.
Yeah, we hear taxes are raised, they're always raised,
right?
And there's no talk ever that I ever hear about as to where can we cut spending, where are we spending unnecessarily? Are we audited? And that's a fair question. I don't know the answer to that, but I would support an audit.
Yeah, I would love, listen,
to see
an
independent audit, and and honestly, not just for our town of Edison. I'd love to see it for the entire state of New Jersey.
That would be remarkable.
It'd be remarkable,
really,
because I guarantee you, if we end up paying, some firm for the state of New Jersey $100 million,
it would have to be a firm from outside the state, though. We couldn't hire somebody into. You know what I mean? So I mean that's as least corrupt as possible. The audit could be.
Right.
So I think you would have to go so far away to bring in a firm that has no connections to the town or the state.
But I'm a firm believer. We spend $100 million on a auditing firm.
Yeah.
You'll find $3.5 billion in waste.
And we listen during each election cycle. We always hear the candidates, I'm going to cut fraud, waste, and abuse. Fraud, waste, and abuse. But where I mean, throughout the year, have we heard anybody cut any fraud, waste, and abuse? And I guarantee you, coming up in the next election cycle, you'll hear those phrases. Yeah. I'm going to cut fraud, waste, and abuse. Well, how are you going to do it?
How are you going to do it?
Show us. What are you going to do?
Right.
What have you? So, and that goes for every. I'm not picking on any specific person. I'm just saying, but that's a popular line people like to throw out.
It is.
It's
a buzz line.
It is.
It's a buzz line.
It's a feel good line. So we got a couple things going on. To wrap up, it's getting dark out here, folks. We got a busy upcoming schedule.
We do.
The 25th, again, is Lisa's...
Support the Police Rally.
Support the Police Rally. Town Hall, 1 to
3.
3. Folks, really come out to that. Chris and I are going to be there live doing this. Hopefully we have that special camera. We could do it live.
I'm still...
Folks, he ordered a camera, and we got some bugs out here.
Yeah, we got it's actually an HD video mixer that will allow us to not just do this, with proper video mixing, but it'll actually allow us to live stream it as well simultaneously.
And
so
multiple camera angles.
Yeah, the problem is though, with the whole COVID situation
Right.
and getting imports into the country.
Right.
And yes, shame on me. I try to buy American, but sometimes you just can't.
Yeah,
So the so it was a problem that the manufacturer was experiencing, trying to get goods, and they're releasing product, but the problem is it's backlogged. So if we have it in time, it'd be a nice little toy to to debut.
Will Lugo Entertainment be on hand?
Lugo Entertainment will be there. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
So,
we'll be there with some music and having a good time.
It's going to be a positive thing. So we're going to hopefully have some elected people come sit down with us.
I hope so.
And listen, it's open, fun conversation. Talk. It's going to be pro-police. It's supposed to be a positive day, and
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. Yeah, the way I would see it is just have a bunch of fun conversation for a fun day, for a good cause.
Support the police. It's not that hard. I mean,
what's not to like about that?
They're good people.
So,
I mean,
without a doubt.
You listen. You get in trouble, you call 911. You want the police there.
You want them there? Oh, absolutely.
You know what
I certainly want them there.
Absolutely. We're gonna have Stephen Brown on. Stephen Brown, good guy. We're gonna talk cybersecurity. He's a cybersecurity expert, folks.
Cybersecurity.
A big thing. Hey, listen. This is something I am not educated on, so I am looking forward to this.
It'll be good.
Do we have a date on Stephen?
Not yet. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule Stephen.
Yes.
We don't have a date yet. He gave me some days that he was not available.
Oh, you know what? He did text me. I think Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. We'll talk off.
Yeah, we'll talk online. We'll get it, but we'll have him within the next couple of weeks.
Folks, you're gonna. He's an impressive. He's an impressive man. He's a very smart. And listen, it's something that listen. This show is not going to be all politics, so we're going to mix it up with a lot of different things. We're going to have Coach Cal on.
Yeah.
We're going to do a lot of. We got a lot of fun guests coming up. So we're going to have Steven on, and we got some. We got some other surprises up our sleeve.
Surprises, absolutely, absolutely. I'm trying to schedule a couple people myself.
Right.
Regular folks of Edison that do some pretty remarkable things, and I think it's good to get people of our town known and highlight some good folks.
And that's what I want to do. I want to introduce people that are doing great things in this town that are unknown, maybe not as popular.
Right. Agreed.
And I would like to at least give them the platform to talk about what it is that they're doing.
Sure.
And
absolutely, we gotta,
there's plenty of room for all of us.
Oh, without a doubt. And we got some, like I mentioned, we have some people in this town doing some pretty remarkable things. And one thing that I would like to start to focus on is within this town, we have such a technical wealth of an endless pit of technical knowledge here. We have a lot of engineers. We have a lot of scientists, a lot of doctors living in this town. And I would like to start, tapping into some remarkable things that some of these people have done.
I want to hear these stories.
Me too.
Listen, I want to hear these stories. They're I don't care what it is. I like, these. I like crazy stories. I mean, how somebody becomes something. You know what I mean? That I have no skill or knowledge in, but I like learning things. So it's
absolutely. And you notice the best stories come from direct word of mouth, right? You don't read about them anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody ever writes down.
Right.
It's when you actually tap into somebody's experiences where the real good stories end up coming out.
Hey, folks, and if that is one of you, reach out to us. If you
absolutely.
If you have an interesting story that you feel that is worthy of the Edison Now podcast. No, I'm just teasing, but reach out to us.
Reach out to us. Let us know some of the remarkable things that you do,
and we'll bring you on. Yeah, we'll bring you on. And we'll discuss it. Listen, we're also in the business to find stars. Find future stars and
absolutely
make people famous.
Absolutely, yeah. We got good people everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
So we want to tap into you.
We have some very skillful people in this town. That's why I love Edison. That's why we're still here.
Right.
With all the crap that's going on, we're still here.
We're still here.
So-
We still woke up today and went about our business, and we're still here.
We still love this town.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, I'm still here, man. So
We're all on the same team at the end of the day, too,
Yeah, we
folks.
are.
We really are. We're at the same team. We're all, listen, the common goal should be to move the town forward. We just got to get rid of some of the bad apples.
absolutely.
So, anything else?
Nah,
Before we head out?
actually, I'm pretty good
Yeah.
until the next
Are
time.
you bit up?
What's that?
Did you get bit up?
On the ankles.
You are. My legs are going to be like chicken pox right now, folks.
Alrighty.
All right. So, folks, thank you for tuning in. We will be live the 25th, definitely.
Yeah,
So
we will.
That'll be the next time from Town Hall, 25th from Town Hall. And, folks, please share this. And, again, we appreciate you tuning in and to the Edison Now podcast, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Until next time, folks, be safe.
Be well. Be healthy. Until next time. Enjoy.